guys, here it is, the coolest G-Shock I've actually seen for a while. The GBX-100 2ER. Let's take a look at it. It's the usual G-Shock box, G-Box Shock, G-Shock box. The usual papers in here, international warranty card, module number 3482. Put that aside. The tag, G-Shock Glide. We're gonna talk about that. Bluetooth, shark resistant, smartphone link, step counter, tide graph, moon data, 20 bar water resistance. Some good specs. Probably not gonna use half of them. Maybe not even a third. And there we have the famous tin can, G-Shock tin can. You've all seen these before, so I'm not gonna spend any more time on it. There we have that one. Just gonna organize. Oh, sorry, forgot the wristwatch check. Wearing my Tudor Black Bay GMT today. Still loving it, and still loving the bracelet. But anyway, let's go back to the G-Shock. Here it is. Let's take it out of the plastic bag. Put that to the side. Take the pillow out. And there you have it. The Surfer Watch. I'm calling it that anyway, because it has some kind of showing you the tidal waves and stuff. It's a beautiful watch and a beautiful I guess this is some kind of teal color. I would like to call it turquoise, but it's not, because I think it's teal. Yeah, I think teal is the right name for it. And we have this steel frame on the around the dial, and then we have the black dial with the digital hour with the digital display under it. As you can see now, we have the time, the date, seconds ticking there, and I mean the day and the date right up there, month and date. You can change the display by pressing the display button, and this is basically the only function I use on the watch. You press it once and you get the step counter, and I haven't been wearing this watch today. That's why it's only 30 steps. I usually walk a little bit more, even though you can't see it when you look at me. It's a little bit more than 30 steps. And you can change it again. I don't really know, monthly, a lot. You can look at it like this if you want to, and I don't know why, but yeah, it's a bunch of things. You have the mode button here. I think this is some kind of timer, stopwatch. You can start a stopwatch right there, reset it right there. And what do we have here? Activity, total time. Yeah, here we have some kind of, this is when you link it up with your smartphone. You can get messages on your watch. You can read text messages, emails, yeah, check your calendar, stuff like that. And I actually think this is the tidal wave when the sun rises and sun sets, and how I don't know, really have no clue how to use this function, but it's cool that it's there. I wish I was in Honolulu, USA at the moment, but I'm not. I'm here in Sweden, enjoying the last, probably what is the last hot day of the year, as you can see. So let's set it right back here to the regular mode. Sorry about that. Here we are back at the home display, as I would like to call it. It's quite of a big watch. I don't have a lot of specs. As I told you, it has a lot of functions, but I've at least measured it. So the diameter is, it depends on where you measure it. If you measure it in the little groove in the middle there, and in the middle there, it's 43 millimeters. But if you measure it on the pusher, they're not pushers, but they look like pushers. If you measure it there on top of those, it's 46 millimeters. And we have a lug to lug, and if you measure the lug where the resin strap starts, right there, and right there, it's approximately 50 centimeters. And we have a lug width of 27 millimeters, and it tapers down all the way down to 19 millimeters. We have a 200 meter water resistance on this watch, and we have this double safety claspy thing. I'm a little bummed that this is made of plastic, this one, because I would like to have it in metal as well, but it is what it is. And this is how the resin band looks like. This is the back of the watch. Shock resist, shock absorbing structure, acceleration sensor, water resistant, 20 bars, made in Thailand. Yeah, and that's basically the watch. Let me put it on, and I'm gonna show you some footage of it inside the beautiful nature of Sweden. We actually have some it's a cold country, but when it's when the weather is fine and when the sun is shining, it's a beautiful country to live in, especially if you live somewhere where there's some woods around. And there it is on the wrist, looking like that. It's a really comfortable watch. It wears perfectly on my 20 centimeter wrist. It weighs basically nothing, and yeah, I really like it. I like the black display with I guess it's called a negative display, where the background is black and when the numbers are actually white. They're not white, but yeah, you understand what I mean, I hope. It's a really nice tool watch to have. And let me talk a little bit about some of the pros and some of the cons of this watch. I've always had trouble with G-Shocks. I love G-Shocks, I love Casio, but I've always had some trouble with the resin straps. They're usually either too small or too big when I adjust them in the hole that I want to wear them in. If I take it one step too much, it's too tight on me. And if I take it out one step, it's too loose. And that's been the thing for me with every G-Shock or Casio resin strap that I've ever tried out. Except for this one. This is something new that I personally haven't experienced before. This resin strap is somehow made of some other material than the other ones that I've had. It's softer. It's really soft. I actually sold a G-Shock a week ago, the red Casio oak. And that resin strap, I wish I could have them next to each other, because that was more stiff, and that was exactly like all the other resin straps that I've tried out in my years collecting watches. I had a Modmaster a couple of years ago. That strap was even stiffer, but this one is so smooth and followsome that it's a joy to wear on the wrist. I still have little issues with the holes. It's the hole that I want to put it in feels a little too tight. I know how that sounded, but that's not what I'm talking about here. And the hole that I take it out on, it feels a little bit too loose, and the watch wobbles on the wrist a little. So I actually keep it a little too tight than I would prefer. But during the day, I can feel the resin band soften up even more, and I actually don't feel the watch. I don't feel the watch at all. It's a watch, when you wear it on your wrist, you forget about it. And that's the positives. Love the look, love the color, love the size, love the dimensions, love the feel on the wrist, love the strap, love the functions, the few that I use, love the display. I can see it really clearly in every kind of weather, and I love the the light function, I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna take it down in my cellar and show you the backlighting function. Okay, now to the things that I don't like as much. First of all, the button for the light. Here it is. You can see it in black, and as you can see, it's a little more to the right than to the left. I'm a kind of an OCD kind of guy with my watches, so I really don't like it when it's not aligned. But it's actually, when you press the button, it moves around a little. As you can see, it's not. And I asked a friend of mine. He has the same issue. It's not an issue because it functions properly. I guess it's just it's a loose, but it's not loose, but it's not a stiff button, and it has some room to wiggle around. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. So when I press it, I have to always check it so that it's in the middle, and then continue on with my day. This is a little nitpicky, but I'm gonna say it anyway. What's with the name? How are you supposed to pronounce that? I only say glide, but it's really G-Glide. What's that about? That's some really dopey text to have on a watch. G-Glide. Yeah, it's dopey as hell. And this is actually the thing that bothers me the most, and I'm sure you've seen this in another video before. This is the strap, and this is the, when you lock it in place here. Let's say you want to wear it right there, and you can see this little holder for the extra strap hanging around. It has two hooks inside of it. You see that? There they are. And actually the hooks, they hook into these holes, so when you put it in there, you're supposed to take the hooks and hook them in place, and the little thingy here sits in place and it doesn't move. The thing is, this is just too much. This is too much to have hanging around. I really don't like that. My friend who also owns the watch, he cut this piece off because it's too much. I'm going to show it to you on my wrist how it's supposed to be worn, but I really think it looks dumb. I really don't understand why they couldn't just put some more holes on the strap all the way. When I'm wearing it like this. Put it in there, and when you lock it in place with the hooks, and there you have that excess strap overlapping there, and it sticks out, protrudes, and I really don't like that. So I actually only take this up and I actually wear it like this. It doesn't move, even though there's no holes. It doesn't move at all. But what you could actually do is file down those hooks so that you get it flat if you wanted to, but it would have been an easy fix to just add some holes from Casio, and I'm really surprised they didn't do that, because if I have 20 centimeters wrist, if you have smaller wrists, this excess is going to be even bigger because you're going to fasten it more inside, and maybe it'll look something like this, and that's too much. Too bad on an otherwise perfectly good watch for $200. I really like the look. It's utilitarian, it's tooly, and it can take a beating since it's a G-Shock, and I really like wearing this watch at work. This is actually the best G-Shock, not specs wise, but the best G-Shock that I've ever worn when it comes to comfortability, and actually in my eyes when it comes to looks, but that's highly subjective. And that's it, actually. I really don't have anything else to say about the watch. If you want a rundown of the technicalities, I bet you can find that either on the Casio webpage or in some other video that knows how to do and what to do and how to do it. I really don't know. I'm just showing you the watch. And it's a good watch. It's a cool watch. And as usual, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. and maybe consider subscribing. And if you didn't, just give me a thumbs down. Don't be afraid to do that, but please write me what you didn't like so I can do better in the next one. And until the next one, which I hope to see you in, bye bye.